most terrifying weapon isn't a gun or a knife. It's the device we carry in our pockets, the one that holds our entire lives. For several young women in Orange County, Florida, their own phones allegedly became tools of terror, used by a high school student to control and silence them in the most brutal way. This is the story of 18-year-old Raphael Lerner, who allegedly twisted his victims' private moments into a weapon of torment, setting off a case that reveals a deeply disturbing pattern. What happens when the technology meant to connect us is used to create a cage? The case broke open on November 21st of 2025 when a school resource officer got a tip about a student in serious trouble. The trail quickly led to 18-year-old Raphael Lerner. According to a 17-year-old girl, she had endured a series of horrifying incidents between late October and mid-November of that year. She told authorities that when she refused Lerner's advances, he turned violent, allegedly grabbing her by the neck and head. But the physical attacks were just one part of the torment. The real power he held, authorities claimed, was digital. He would allegedly record the assaults. Investigators say Lerner threatened to splash the videos and photos all over the internet and send them to her parents if she ever dared to tell anyone or try to leave him. It was a method of control that detectives would later describe as emotionally and physically brutal. As investigators started digging, they laid out a chilling picture of Lerner's alleged tactics. The Orange County Sheriff's Office stated he ingratiates himself to young women, coerces them into sex, becomes extremely violent, and videotapes and photographs his victims. Then he threatens them with exposing those videos and photos publicly and to their parents. These recordings became the foundation of his alleged control, a constant digital threat hanging over his victims. Authorities quickly realized this wasn't a one-off incident. They believed they were dealing with a predator whose behavior had been escalating for years. The arrest affidavit didn't just paint a picture of assaults, it described someone who systematically documented them to guarantee his victims would never speak out. But this wasn't the first time Lerner had been on law enforcement's radar, not by a long shot. The investigation uncovered a history of prior incidents. Records show that back in August of 2025, just a few months before his arrest, a 19-year-old woman had already accused him of sexual battery and voyeurism. In 2023, another report came in from a 16-year-old who said Lerner threatened her for explicit images. And the timeline went back even further. In 2020, Lerner was arrested in connection with a domestic battery incident. Since he was 18 at the time of his late 2025 arrest, he would have been in his early teens, around 13 or 14, during the 2020 incident. This pattern seemed to confirm investigators' worst fears. They were looking at a timeline of increasingly dangerous behavior that had gone unchecked for far too long. On December 9th of 2025, Raphael Lerner was arrested. He was hit with a barrage of charges, over a dozen in total, including sexual battery on a victim under 18, battery by strangulation, and false imprisonment. Soon after, new charges were added, including sexual battery with a deadly weapon, bringing the total to 15. During his first court appearances, the judge was clear. Lerner was to be held in jail on no bond. He was forbidden from contacting victims or witnesses, possessing any weapons, and crucially using the internet. The digital world he alleged weaponized was now off limits. According to the inmate records, he remains locked up with no bond due to the severity of the charges, some of which would lead to a life sentence if he's convicted. This case shines a harsh light on a dark side of modern abuse, where technology is twisted into a prison of fear. It makes you wonder, what can be done to better fight this kind of digital coercion and protect young people from predators who operate both online and off? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Believing there are more victims who have been too scared to come forward, the Orange County Sheriff's Office has urged anyone with information to call their non-emergency line at 407-836-4357. This case is a disturbing reminder that the deepest wounds aren't always visible, and that sometimes the most dangerous threats are the ones delivered through a screen. As the justice system takes its course, many are watching, hoping for accountability and a measure of safety for those who were home.